Alright, y'all. Working with some new recording software, so bear with me if the camera placement is funny and things are just kind of odd in general. I've got a lot going on with this recording today. We're going to talk about mollusks, super interesting creatures, if I'm being totally honest with you. Not my favorite, because we've only got one small advancement that we'll discuss, so there's no big leaps and bounds in terms of our complexity in animals, which is why I've only got about 5 slides. But still very fascinating creatures. If you're wondering what I'm looking at right now, I have a few mollusks just below the camera. Get back in there. One of them is an escape artist. Alright, so let's talk about mollusks real quick. There are 3 flavors, just like with the worms, and all of these are delicious as well. You've got gastropods. These are your, let me get my pointer. These are your snails and slugs. You've got bivalvia. These are your clams and scallops and oysters. They all have 2 shells instead of 1. And then you have cephalopoda. Cephala. Doesn't that sound familiar? Oh yeah. Cephalization means having a head. So cephala must mean head, and poda. Yes, I remember from my advanced Latin class that poda is a word for legs. So a cephalopod must be a head with legs, and indeed it is. Things like an octopus, or a squid, or this nautilus here, which actually has a shell. These are cephalopods, some of the most intelligent creatures on the planet, actually. But I wanted to take a minute to show you guys some gastropods that I actually found in my garden. These are your common garden snails. Oh, sorry, common garden slugs. Now, something interesting about slugs that I'll talk about in a little bit more detail in a minute. They have a shell. I know it doesn't look like it, but they do. Their shell is internal. And that's important because if they weren't, if they didn't possess a shell, they wouldn't be gastropods. They wouldn't be mollusks at all. This is our escape artist one, by the way, so he's crawling up the side of this dish again. I'm going to have to deal with him later. Alright, so let's get this camera focused back, and let's dive in to mollusks, starting with gastropods.